Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Napenda. If you are tuning in today, I will be doing a first impressions and a review on the new NYX and Alissa Ashley Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, so just subscribe right now and let's get into this video. Alright guys, so I went into the NYX store this past weekend, and I got the last 5 shades of the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation that they collaborated with Alissa Ashley on. I did not buy the last 5 shades. What I did is I purchased the last 2, and honestly the reason why I purchased the last 2 is because I could not figure out which one would be my better shade. That has never, ever happened to me before, where I go into a store and I look at a foundation and I don't know which one is my shade because they're both so close. Typically my experience when it comes to buying foundations is I'll go into a store and I'm either the last shade, or I know I have to mix the last 2 shades in order to get my perfect color, but never have I looked at 2 shades and been like, which one is mine? So I'm gonna swatch the last 5 for you guys, and then I'm gonna swatch the 2 that I bought, and I'm just gonna see here in like better lighting, since I have my ring light, which one is my true shade. But I'm telling you guys now, if you were questioning whether or not this foundation had a great shade range, you don't need to question it because it is amazing. I'm going to be swatching them in order from lightest to darkest based on the ones that I got. So if you go into a NYX store, they are doing samples. So I know that a lot of times when you go to drugstores, one of the hardest problems is that you can't get a sample of it and you just have to buy it without knowing if it's going to be your shade. That is not the case when I went to the actual NYX store. So if there's a NYX store in your area, definitely go and check it out. The girls were really helpful there. Oh, sis gave me 2 samples. Wait, hold up. Hold up. Did she bless me? Oh my god. She gave me 2 samples for each one. They really, I think they know that this foundation is good, which is why they're like pushing it so heavy, not just with like promoting it, but then also when you go into the store, the first thing that they're asking you is if you need help, and they're shade matching people. And I think it's because they know and they're proud of the shade range that they've created, as they should be, okay? When it comes to the sample, they write the color down for you. So the first one that I'm going to go ahead and swatch is Warm Walnut. No, okay. I just want you guys to see what this color looks like straight from the container. So this is what Warm Walnut looks like straight from the container. So as you guys see, it is a really rich color, and I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch this on my cheek. So this is Warm Walnut. On the website, they describe this color as being deep with a warm undertone. The next shade I'm going to swatch is going to be Deep Walnut, which is the shade right after Warm Walnut. And I'll show you guys what this color looks like. I can't tell, but as of right now, it actually seems like this shade is a bit lighter than the one I just swatched, but we'll see. Oh, it's definitely more red. And it is described as a deep with warm undertone as well, and I will definitely say it does have a warm undertone. So this next shade is in the shade Chestnut. So this is in the shade Chestnut, and it is described as a deepest deep with a neutral undertone. One thing that I'm noticing as I've been swatching these on my face is it's almost like when you first apply it, it's a really strong color, but it almost seems like it melts into your skin and it kind of like adapts to what your color is. And that might sound crazy, but you guys saw what the swatches looked like when I first put them on my face, and it's almost like they're melting right in. So I actually purchased the last 2 shades because, like I said, I couldn't figure out in the store which one was my own shade, and I didn't want to waste too much time because I had places to be. So these are in the shades Deep Ebony and Deep Espresso. I believe Deep Ebony is the last shade and Deep Espresso is the second to last shade. So when you first get it, what I noticed is that it has like a security tape there, so when you buy it, you can make sure that nobody's opened it or swatched it based on this being on it and it being secured. And it does come with the top, and it does come with the pump, which I love. This product is 1 fluid ounce, which is the typical standard amount that you get in any of your foundations, and this foundation is also $15. This is the shade Deep Espresso swatched on my hand. So this is Deep Espresso. And I feel like if I were to, let's say, blend this out, this could be my skin color. And we're gonna see if it dries down, because I feel like it definitely does. I don't know why I just spread it out like that, because I took up all of the space for the other foundation, but I'm still gonna place it there. So this is what Deep Espresso looks like swatched. You guys saw what it looked like when I first put it on, and I want to say that this foundation oxidizes, or it might just be oxidizing on me, but it is melting into my skin. And I swatched Deep Ebony on the same hand that I swatched Deep Espresso, just so that you guys could also compare it on my hand. So Deep Espresso is the smaller dot, since I haven't pressed into it yet. That is what the two shades look like. And I did clean off this brush just so that there's no leftover, and I'm gonna swatch that right here. I'm gonna swatch a little bit of Deep Ebony here too for you guys. When Deep Ebony went on, I feel like it went on with a neutral or like a golden undertone, and I feel like Deep Espresso went on more of like a red undertone, and I do have red undertones. But I know I'm not crazy now, because they both dry down to almost be the same. I just don't know which shade to pick. But with the way that it's drying down, I'm gonna go in with Deep Espresso, just because it has more of that warm undertone that I need. I feel like Deep Ebony is a little too neutral. Now I'm going to go in with the NYX Angel Veil Primer. This primer is actually really good if you have oily skin. One thing that I haven't mentioned yet about the foundation is that it is a mattifying foundation, but Alissa does have dry skin, so it seems as though you can use it if you have dry or oily skin. If you have this foundation and you have dry skin, comment down below and let us know how you like it and how you feel about it. You don't want to go in too heavy with the primer, because it can leave you with a gray cast, but honestly I don't typically mind when primers leave you with a gray cast, because foundation is going to go on top of it anyway, and I haven't found that a primer that sets gray leaves your foundation gray, so it's fine. But I just went in with a little bit because this is just going to be a first impressions. It is currently 3 in the morning, so I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to go in with Deep Espresso, which is what I have come to the conclusion is my shade. If you think I should have gone in with Ebony or with a different color, comment that down below as well, let me know. So one pump gives you a lot, but I'm a cake face, so I'm gonna go in with 2 pumps. And the way that I'm gonna apply this is I'm just gonna take this brush and I'm just gonna tap it on like a little bit everywhere. And it definitely is red undertone. One thing I can say is it does dry down pretty quick, so I need to move a little faster. I'm just gonna go in with this e.l.f. powder brush. Where's my set? Okay. I'm just gonna go in with this e.l.f. powder brush, and something that I do a lot is I'll spray my powder brushes with my setting spray just to moisten it a little bit. Oh my god, the blend. Guys, I think I picked my perfect shade. I'm not the last shade, and I don't have to mix. Anybody who has seen my foundation collection, I literally have 2 of everything. The fact that I can get my foundation for $15 when I spend like $30 or $40 and I have to buy 2 of other foundations is crazy to me. As I put it on, right here, it's my perfect shade. Like, sometimes when I put on makeup and I look at it in the like viewfinder, and then I look at it on the monitor, and then I look at it in the mirror, I have to make sure that I'm not tricking myself into seeing something that's not there. But I feel like this is my perfect shade, and I've never had a foundation be my perfect shade, ever. What I will say is that it is definitely medium coverage. I don't know if you guys can see, but I do have a few dark spots, and they are peeking through even with this foundation on. But like I told you guys in my last foundation video, I don't care if something leaves a little bit of my dark spots to be seen, because sometimes I don't want that extreme full coverage. But what I am going to do is see if it's buildable. So I'm going to put another 1.5 pumps, and actually let me use the beauty blender to do this and see if this spreads. Yeah, it's buildable, because as I'm building it, I see my spots fading or no longer being visible. So that is the difference between this side and this side. This foundation dried down completely matte. If you are an oily girl, I would definitely advise mixing these two together. I know that they do come with their own primer, but I haven't heard too many good reviews for that. But the Angel Veil is good. So you can use the Angel Veil primer, use it with this foundation. I don't see any oil, any like, I'm all the way together when it comes to no oil being present or visible. If you are someone with dry skin that wants to try this foundation, I think you can. You just need to use a hydrating moisturizer and a hydrating primer. But I think that if you do those two things, you should be fine. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my face off camera, and then I'll come back and tell you guys my final opinion for my first impressions on this foundation. So as far as my thoughts on this product, I love it. I feel like for $15, you can't really beat what you get from this. And I feel like the main thing I get from this is a foundation that has shade range, that has options for me, that is mattifying. And I need something that's mattifying since I am someone with oily skin. So I have a foundation that mixes with my, I guess you could say, like my skin type. The price point is right. You really have to think about the fact that I typically spend $50 to $100 for one foundation look because I'll take two high-end foundations and mix them. So here I have a foundation that's $15 that is my perfect shade that I don't have to mix. Like honestly, I'm stunned at that, and I'm just being completely honest with you because this doesn't happen often. As you guys saw, I had to go in with the second layer in order to build it up to full coverage, but once I applied that second layer, it covered all of the blemishes that I had that were still peeking through the first one. It blended very easily and flawlessly, and honestly, there's not enough positive things that I can say about this foundation. It oxidized on me personally because I feel like when I was doing the swatches, the way that it appeared on my skin and the way that it looked once it set was a little different, so definitely be careful of that. I would definitely say that one thing you want to be careful of is the undertone. This is a foundation that you don't want to order online, and I'm just being completely honest with you, but it's because there's so much variety. You might think you're one shade, but there may be a different shade that's even better for you. So I highly suggest that if you're going to be using this foundation, you go in store and you get matched. And when you do get matched, let them put the swatch on you, but wait a few minutes, let it dry down and see what the color looks like. If there's any cons, can I think of any cons? Like, I feel like it's amazing. Is this my favorite foundation now? Something that I almost forgot to mention is that when you go in store and you purchase the foundation, once you buy it, they actually let you spin a wheel for a free product. And I got this NYX Lip Lingerie in the shade Beauty Mark, and this is what it looks like. So it's a super pretty tone brown lipstick for anyone. It's really, really pretty. So you're not only spending $15 and getting a foundation, but you're getting a foundation and a free product, so it's even more so worth it. So I definitely think that's a plus to going in store to get it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are on the foundation. Will you be picking it up? Do you think I chose the right shade? Let me know what you think, and make sure you come back tomorrow for my nighttime skincare routine. And if you haven't already, check out my top 20 skincare do's and don'ts. All of those videos will be linked down below in the description box, and if I can figure it out, they'll be on the screen somewhere, so click on them and go watch them. Thank you guys so much. Until next time.